pay it? Why pay 7 people or 100 people 10 hours a day and then they want the night off or they want their vacation? It's going to be eliminated. The human race will slowly be eliminated. Now, a friend of mine, Al Bielik, and they've been putting it up every 3 months on AOL, which I'm really surprised, went to the future. He went to 2039. He said in 2039, there's only 25% of the people on this planet. And most of them are on these islands that are floating in air, and everything being done there is done by the robots. And I think he's 100% right. If the world stays here, sure, there'll be people going to other planets as well, but the people that are here will be such a small number. And they're not going to need people. We don't need people. And the more robots you have, the less food you need. So it's all about what rich people want. I mean, rich people don't want poor people around their house. They don't want to see them in the stores. They don't want, and it's sad. I mean, go to California. I was out there with the homeless people every night for 2 years, hanging out for a couple hours at night with them and stuff. I saw how they live and things. They get it. They adapt to it. So these robot people will be programmed to do what we need to do or should be doing. And the longer we let it go by, the longer or the less chances we have of stopping it. But I think it's too late. The robot world, every company wants it. And here's one thing. Walmart, and this is a fact, by the end of next year is going to be completely computerized with robots. Here in Hawaii, they were already given a year and a half before they get fired. And all the people know it. You won't even be able to talk to people in Walmart. Everything's going to be robot. So, and that's the starting point. Sure, I mean, Trump wants to put taxes on China and things like that. But when there's no people to pay and stuff, you know how much it would cost to run a business? To get it started, you're going to pay a lot of money, but once it's there, so people better wake up to that alone. And that has nothing to do with God's spirit, your soul. It has to do with living life on this planet. They already created synthetic meat, so mean they don't have to kill animals to create meat. It was supposed to be on the market, and I'm sure there's so many people trying to fight that from happening. They'd rather kill a cow than eat a fake cow. Well, everything else they eat is toxic and dangerous to their body, so why would it mean meat is any different if it came from a synthetic clone of something? So mankind's awareness is sinking rapidly, but it's based on programming. And we can go back to the Anunnaki, we can go back to the reptilians, we can go back to any of those dates when they started reprogramming mind to think and function the way they wanted us to. So I know it was a sidetrack a little, TJ, but I hope I answered it and we got into it enough, because cloning is a horrible thing. It has been since day one. Religions do not like it, but nobody cares about religions either. So we're moving away from a lot of different things to a place where it's really going to be a lot worse than it is now at every level. So I want to try to bring us back a little. I just want to finish up on angels. So think about it. There's an angel out there waiting to work with you. If you're willing to put out some time and energy to meet with them, her, he, whatever, it takes a form on what you need to know. What I wanted to finish, I didn't finish it exactly, on the protection. When you meet this being, if you doubt it, and here's another belief that is, if it's a belief, it's not going to work. If it's true to you, it will work. If you say, in the name of God, be gone if you're not of God. Most beings, if they're not, have to leave. No being, no alien, no entity can say they're God on the inner worlds. And no one does, no one can. The deities that you go before, they'll say, I am all that you search for. They'll say a lot of different things. But they won't say, I am God. And they can't. So God created a world, but it did keep itself above everything else in every realm that you travel or go to. And until you get there, you won't understand that. Oh, this deity said he's God. Well, the Hindu people believed Shiva, Durga, Kali. I mean, all those names became gods to them. The Egyptians believed in these beings. I mean, thought became one of the highest gods. And I went to Mexico, and they believed that Quetzalcoatl was God. He was a man. When he reincarnated, he became a god. So they're not gods. And the word God, there is only one God. So the definition of God is singular, and there's no other definition. So when you say, well, it was this power, you can try to describe God as powerful and strong and all those words. But I do a lecture on that one day real soon as well. I try to do that as often as I can, because people need to update their awareness of what they think God is and what they expect from it. And then if you expect anything from God, look at what you do to this world. And what are you doing to this world? I mean, if somebody that has billions of dollars in their bank account at least feel guilty about it. Bill Gates donated $100 million. I guess he feels guilty right now. He sees what's happening to the planet. He sees what's going down. But I feel giving money to schools to become programmed people is not the solution. And that's why I'm working really hard with TJ, going up and down with a lot of different things, but there needs to be a real school in the United States teaching people about spiritual truth, God, angels, and all those things that exist that nobody wants to talk about. They'd rather talk about how you can become the best you can and get the best job you can. It was never about that. Jesus told his disciples to leave everything. So when you think you can hold on to everything, when you leave this planet, what are you going to take? You can't take your children, can't take your wife, can't take your car, and can't take your money. So all the concepts that man believes in, even though they don't believe in it, oh, well, I don't believe in that. I believe in God. Really? What's the most important thing in your life? You know, when you say my wife, my children, yeah, because you feel like you have to. And while you're around them, you kind of have to say that. But God should be the most important thing in your reality, because that's the only thing that's going to keep getting you closer and closer to who and what you truly are and allow you to become that. Nothing else can do that. You could have multiple families in this lifetime and all your other lifetimes. Did they help you? A little, to reincarnate again. Did they help you to move forward? I know a few people where their wife or something was teaching them about the inner worlds and trying to get them there. And that's much more important than learning how to stay here. Making your body look prettier. For who? Other people and yourself? So you look in the mirror, oh, I look pretty today. Why? What's pretty mean? Soul's going to step out of this car wreck when it crashes at the end of its life. You're going to still look exactly the same. Soul is. So conception and perception and all those words are pretty programmed. When people say we're going to have a child, and now you can determine whether you're going to have a male or female, 90% basically. And then if you want to have twins and all those things, sure, there's always an exception to every rule. Some people end up having 6 or 8 children because they wanted 2, or they were on a pill and they stopped. And then, my brother's wife had 2 because of that. It's a combination of what we don't know to what we think we know. So an angel could be a very beneficial thing in your life if you learn to work with one, or 2, or 3, and they will be there. The more you give, the more you get. And I'm not talking on planet Earth. You can give all your money away and you'll be starving and homeless. But in the inner worlds, it's different. Jesus talked about the inner worlds, all about the inner worlds, not the physical world. Because when you give there, it multiplies. You give here, it's used up and scarfed up in a day and it's gone. So there's learning the difference between physical reality and the astral plane and then the spiritual realities that we can move into later on. So hopefully that's a good definition that you can work with as far as the angel you work with or think you know. But I didn't say this, which I better say. How do you challenge an angel? When he says who or what they are, male, female, or give you a name, Gabriel, Michael, King Tut. Just a takeoff of another name that you heard or whatever. What if they said they were Lucifer? Oh, get out of my life. Well, say, what do you want to teach me? What do you offer? Here's the thing. Lucifer, which I'll go into, is a good angel in perception. He's here to keep people here that deserve to stay here. Does he force people to do things? That's the first thing you have to ask. Well, he's Lucifer. He'll make us sell our soul to the devil. No, you're begging the devil to give you something that you shouldn't have. So who's to blame right there? If you go to the mob and ask for $1 million, they'll give it to you. But guess how much you have to pay back? I was 17. My family was in the mob, and they said, my mother said, well, if you have to get the money, go to them. And then I did. I needed $25,000 for an operation. And they told me that I have 3 months to give $75,000 back. I said, I have to die, because how am I going to come up with 3 times out of money when I don't have the first amount the first month? So, yeah, the mob's a horrible thing. But I was healed. I challenged God. That's a whole different story. But we have to realize when we work with something, Lucifer says, I'll give you what you want. What's bad about that? Well, you're going to stay on planet Earth because you're doing that. Most people think planet Earth is heaven. And sure, why not? Give me it. I'll stay here. It's not like they all have to become mass murderers. I'll tell you,
got to
go
call
online.
in from California.
What was that?
You got to call in from California.
All right, let me
951. 951. Hi. How are you doing? Did you call in to ask a question or talk for a minute with Tommy?
Yeah, I don't know if you were giving readings out or not.
You can take that, TJ.
Hi. I'm going to be, but not tonight. That's to let Tommy do Sundays. But what's your name? And where? I see you're calling from California, right?
Yeah, I'm calling from California, that's for sure. My name's Nathaniel.
Okay, Nathaniel. If you can, just watch the board. I'll try to be on tomorrow night and do some readings. How's that?
That's all right. I'll let it go.
No, don't let it go. Quick question. What was your question?
Whoops. I hate that because sometimes people need. Yeah, sometimes people need help. I'm sorry, folks. And
I was
Tommy
try to
too.
help him a little bit.
Yeah, he sounded a little down, but maybe he'll come in tomorrow night. Okay.
Sound like a really nice guy too.
Yeah, he did. All right. Well, I'm sorry for interrupting you, Tommy, but if somebody calls in and
oh no, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. I was trying to watch the board for you. Okay.
No problem.
All right, but folks, yes, I'll probably do readings. I was going to try to wait till October 1st, but apparently the universe is calling me, so maybe tomorrow, Mondays. Okay, we'll do Mystic Mondays again. Okay, thanks, Tommy. I'm back. I'm back to you. Back to you.
Sorry about that. All right. What I was talking about last was Lucifer. What I want you to do is go online and type Bob Dylan talks to Lucifer. Pull it up. He is one of the greatest writers of all time who managed to make everything he ever wrote turn to gold. And what's he say? He sold the soul to Lucifer. And he said he wasn't the only rock star that did that. So, do you consider a rock star's life hell? To some people it might be, but to some people, no. They'd rather have that life than the life they're living. So, when we blame Lucifer for problems, think about it. Think about what you ask for. I mean, you could ask God for it too as well. But Lucifer pays out on this planet because it wants to keep us here. If you were staying somewhere in this beautiful mansion by the ocean, and this person says, well, give me your soul and I'll let you live there forever. All right, you got it. And people would probably gladly do that. But the only thing, somewhere in the distant future when there's stuff there, they say, man, I sold my soul to the devil. I might want to leave now. And that's when you have to really find your spiritual truth. But I just threw that in because most people think Lucifer's so evil and he's a bad person and all this. There's demons outside of Lucifer. And these demons or entities came from different dimensions of the astral plane. And all because of Tesla and his great ideas, and then the Philadelphia experiment, allowed these all to come in 1947. When they split the vortex open, which is on Montauk, Long Island, Pine Bush, New York, and Wanacue, New Jersey, it's a triangle of energy. And when they ripped that open with the Philadelphia experiment, all these things came in. The government still can't close it. They're trying. They're really trying hard to close it. Nobody on this planet can close it. But what came in through there is incredible, and my